What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Welcome back to, of course, Start Swing Trade. I'm in a fast market here. Just got news that Amazon, of course, is getting hit by the FTC there. Looks like they're getting hit for 5.8 million over privacy violations for Amazon Ring. So we could see a little bit of a downturn in the market right now. I'm seeing Amazon already taking a little bit of a hit here, now down towards 120.06. I was thinking about taking it in the 120.25s, but wanted to keep the show and get the show running here. I'll tell you guys right now. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this. See what's going on in the action. You guys can see right now, Amazon. This is kind of the 1 minute because I'm going into the action, and you can see how it rejected the VWAP twice already, and then when it tried to come up the third time, failed. So I would like a little move back here towards like kind of 120.25s, then come down. But of course, it could just kind of leak out here. And the Qs overall, you can see the Qs coming right back down. Of course, we did get a little bit of a bounce today. Really good news in Intel. Intel coming out with some news combining with NVIDIA. One thing that I said on my Twitter, one way to really get a stock sexy again, well, just mention NVIDIA and AI, right? Well, we've seen how that's reacted in the past. And it looks like Intel really got started today. So this is one stock that I would actually keep on my radar. For a long time, I was really kind of bearish on Intel just because it didn't bring any sexy story out, right? Didn't have a good product that's coming out or something that we can really kind of look forward to. And this could change things up. As you guys can see from the reaction, it was pulling back now really quickly back there towards 32. Something that we'll keep an eye out. If we get another rally in tech, like continued rally in like, let's say, NVIDIA, AMD, names like that, I'd look for a continued rally in Intel. Let's go back to that Amazon. I'm going to keep it on watch here. I'm going to actually go towards, I have, of course, my prop account here on the right-hand side. In a little bit, we'll be joined by Michael Katz from Trade the Pool. And I'm looking to make a little more bang on the day, right? I mean, I've already had a really nice day on the prop account. Swing trades are looking all right today. NCLH going back a little bit into the red on the day, still in the green overall, up about 8% on this position. ARKK is another one that we on a swing trade. I'm in from 39.06. This looked a lot better today, but I want to see if it can continue making rallies. One that I did take a hit on today towards the open was SEDG. You guys can see how that one went down. So I did get out of this one, working some of the other positions to see if those can continue climbing higher, especially if Norwegian can get back to the 15. Look at the battle that is going on here at that 15 spot. Now two highs in the same area. Definitely don't want to see it break the 9 EMA. If I start seeing it break the 9 EMA, it might just take the profits and run, but giving it a chance to continue working higher. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there, guys? Smash the like. What are we doing? Raz, how we doing? I just screamed on my bed. Socks Al. So glad I got out of my Intel short last week. Yeah, that was a lucky one, man. And sometimes you are going to get caught with like kind of what I call tape bombs. We got that term from, of course, Tommy Lackey. But this is a tape bomb, of course. But you got to be careful out there. But this is to the opposite way. This is a tape rocket. That's what we're going to call this. Instead of a tape bomb, we're going to call this a tape rocket, because definitely shooting Intel up. And Intel made a nice little move, nice little pullback on the 5 minute, right to the VWAP, and then just push right back higher. I'll look for little pullbacks on this to see if we can get that. Let's go back to Amazon here as you're seeing it go lower. I did like this trade here, but, you know, it's very hard to go to the show and then also take a live trade and then also kind of pay attention to you guys out there. And then that's the hard part of doing a little bit of mix, right? And so right here, I do like the trade of Amazon going lower, especially after I saw, of course, that the ring is going to pay those FTC commissions. Looks like there were some privacy violations. Of course, this doesn't really mean that it's going to get hit too much. I thought this would be more like kind of just a small micro catalyst that could push it lower. What the hell? What the heck is happening? Hey, keep watch, man. It's always important. Chewy earnings go for the bounce. We'll see what happens there. I like this one, of course, because you see kind of here. Why I like the Amazon one is that you guys see how kind of this rejecting here. That's pretty to me. And one thing is you can clearly see resistance above towards kind of the 120.48s. So I would play this down here through this support of 119.85, going towards like 119.50. That'd be my first profit take. And then the next profit take down towards 119.30s and kind of play that outlook. But since this is going lower, I could come right back after AI. I've played AI twice today and have gotten some pretty good return. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little later today. So I don't want to get too much into my AI trade, but it looks like it's coming right back down. CXAI monster move today. We'll see if this one can keep going. It did pull back significantly right back towards 12, something that I'll keep on watch. All right, let's go to the Qs and, of course, take a look into tech. Tech now pulling back a little bit. Of course, one thing that I'd keep on mind is the hourly chart on the Qs. You can see here how we do get a little bit of a bounce, but then we fail to get that next move back towards 350. If we crack 347, 346, I think we can go lower on the Qs. And a lot of that also the outlook on the daily with the 9 EMA so far, right? But it doesn't mean that we got to break this all in one day. It could take a couple of days to get back to that 9 EMA. So something that I'm keeping an eye out for is a move above 350, right? If we do get an attempt to get back above 350, we could see a little bit of a push higher, but that could be acting as resistance right now. And you can see we made a move earlier towards 350, rejected that. And then the candle right after that goes to 349.91. Just might be something there, right? Something to definitely keep on watch. All right, there's the Qs going lower here. So maybe stocks S here for a little bit of a day trade action right back up towards the upside as you see it going towards the 12-15s. And AMD going lower, NVIDIA going lower. These are not the stocks you want to see coming down. And of course, it doesn't mean that they're completely getting wrecked, but the pullbacks are significant. And we got to look for where we're going to come in on these pullbacks. For right now, it seems like these stocks are a little bit out of reach. So we'll see what happens on NVIDIA. Names like Meta also pulling back. Things that we got to keep an eye out for. All right, let's go to the SPY. Let's see what was actually up on the day. There wasn't too much, so this won't take too long. Let's go take a look there. Intel having a decent day. Hewlett Packard having a decent day. Of course, this one actually came down with their earnings, came back up. So that's not too bad of a stock there. McKesson, medical distribution, doing well on the day. You can see that because you also see ABC as one of the leading stocks. I would not touch these right now in my eyes just because I feel like these haven't made a move in a long time. But you can also keep your eyes on healthcare plans. UNH catching a little bit of a bid today. And you can see that sideways action. It kind of filled this gap here to the left-hand side. So it doesn't look too bad in that case, right? It fills the gap and then tries to come back. Now we'll just see if it can really get moving to the upside. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is going on. SDA Wild, congrats if you caught it. What a move there. Auto parts name getting a huge lift there. Don't know what happened here, but not a bad little pattern as you see it kind of get higher. This is kind of like the cup and handle pattern. And I'll show you guys a little bit more on kind of the 5-minute. So you kind of had this little cup pattern, and then you came back to pull the handle right off the VWAP. So I like when we get moves like this where you get a strong move, a test down towards a breakdown, right? Went right back towards some resistance. Caught that and then went right back up to the upside. So big moves like that, I always look for big time frame pullbacks to what? To give me an opportunity to risk off of a tighter time frame and then look for a big expansion. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's see what else we got going on. SDA, what a beautiful chart. It's a big breakout there. Good follow through generally both directions in semis. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is, right? And I think that that's when we got to be. We got to be quick and nimble. Right now, we're seeing the Qs go lower. And so this could have been a little bit of a trap in the afternoon that was coming back up. Now you're going right back down. So we'll see what happens on names like Apple. How do those do right now, right? You can see how this is just falling off after being really strong. Even Intel. Intel starts coming down, of course. Eventually, I could see this pull back. That would be something that I'd be looking for tomorrow if Intel could pull back a little bit from these levels, especially below 31. Walter saying, I wish I kept my Stocks S position from yesterday. Love to live in a wick on a daily. Yeah, I mean, it's how it is sometimes. You always get wicked out, and that's going to happen, team. And that's why I always look for wicks, man. It can get you really quickly. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is moving on the day. Communication services moving a little bit higher. Not really an area that I'm going to look at too much. There's not much here that I would keep an eye out. We did get Verizon to get a little bit of a lift here, and it's kind of a little bit of a bounce back. Nothing that I would be kind of going after. Same thing for AT&T and T-Mobile. Utilities getting a little bit of a bounce after it keeps coming down, right? Well, it catches a little bit of a bounce. Not an area that I'd be looking at too much, but you can see how they're getting a little bit of a bounce right now. Healthcare is an area that I've seen broken as of late. We'll see if this can turn around. Right now, I'd point to like kind of drug manufacturers. You did get some of these to get back into the green today. Johnson & Johnson, Lilly, Merck, AbbVie, AZN, Pfizer. But will it be short-lived? That's my question there. I really don't know, but one thing I can tell you guys is that at least from what I'm seeing on the charts, these have kind of broken and are trying to recollect some of the strength that they had. Of course, biotech's also doing that similar move, right? And we'll keep an eye out on Gilead, Amgen. You can see how this one came back down and started kind of breaking down really. On the weekly, this wasn't the best look, but let's see if it can hold on some weekly support, start making its way back. Amgen, VRTX also pulling back significant. And this one actually doesn't look too bad as it starts to catch off of prior resistance, acting as support underneath it. You got about 322s. It's at 325. Can this one catch a bounce? We'll have to wait and find out. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is doing well. Real estate up into the green. Then we start getting into the red. Technology just slightly in the red right now, and it could get deeper into the red from the open. What got hit the most? What got hit the most was industrials today. So this is when I start to actually look. Is GE finally going to break? That is the hard question, right? I've been watching this stock for a very long time to see when it's going to break. It's been stuck in kind of this channel, right? Now we kind of approach the bottom of it. Each time we break it, we recover. So let's see what happens here. I'm not going to play it early because if I play it early, that's how I just keep playing in the chop, right? But you guys have seen how General Electric has made a huge run this year. Will it fall off the tape? Something to keep watch. DE, right? Will Deere kind of fall off the tape, right? You guys can see how this has been going lower and lower. I think eventually you might get a little bit of a bounce here, at least towards maybe 370s, but it has just been falling off. Look at the last couple of weeks. Not looking good right there in Deere or Cat, right? And that doesn't help other names too. Pakar was one name that I was able to play towards the upside. This is actually starting to quickly turn around. All right, we'll see what else is going on there in the industrials. Let's take a look at Lockheed Martin. Is that going lower also? There you go. Even defensive names going lower. And that just goes to show me you got to be careful with the rotation. Right now, it's kind of wicked and not in the industrials, or at least looking good there. XLI, you guys can see that's coming down towards support there. Will it break 96 here and go lower? And we get the industrials to go lower. Not an area that I want to see kind of breaking down. But the truth is, right now, a lot of these are kind of your kind of lower PE names. They were hanging out there for a while, value names, but now they're starting to break. That's another reason why healthcare I see kind of breaking, right? You're talking about more of those GARP plays, right? The growth at reasonable value. And energy, we've been seeing how that's been getting hit. Man, still going to be kicking myself for not getting and holding the short from 111 down here towards 101. It's giving me multiple attempts there. Even got me a nice little bounce there when it went up there back towards the 108s, close to the 109s. Now down towards 103.96. And you can see how the XLE, yeah, we got that bounce, but now we're really starting to break. And this is why I think we're going to keep seeing kind of energy go lower. I'll keep watch to see what opportunities present itself. Even like an Oxy, right? Warren added, and today Oxy's actually down. So Warren's effect is slowly going away, even on Oxy. So I'm going to be looking for these for opportunities to kind of play it to the downside. Of course, needs some little pops. Was even watching today XOM of how it kind of was turning around here on the VWAP. You could see how kind of it was battling. It bounced one more time, used that as resistance, and then started fading towards the downside. We'll see what happens on names like that. For day trade action, you guys can also take a look at maybe like a drip. But you got to be careful with the drip. Of course, it likes to make moves a lot of times in the after hours. You can see how this kind of just gapped up to the upside.
All right, let's keep going. It's about 3:16. At 3:30, we'll get into our interview coming up. Of course, we'll talk a little bit more about my trade on AI. It's been a good day overall, and looking to see if we keep going lower here. Let's get back to the Qs, see what's going on there. Seeing a little bit of a bounce. Amazon, that we were looking to see if that was going to go lower. You can see it's kind of holding on right now. We'll see if we get some kind of recovery here. And then Nvidia, of course, kind of keeps going lower, team, and it's starting to really reject. Another bull trap here out the gates today when that goes right back through 400. But look at the kind of the levels, nothing really closing up above 400, and a quick rejection right back down. AMD also pulling back significantly. I think this might come back towards the 90 MA, 115.13. So we could see that kind of come back into the gap just a little bit and then look for a recovery. I'll see what happens there on AMD. It's been a huge ride up. And of course, this one's been following kind of the NVIDIA footsteps. But as NVIDIA pulls back, I think we're seeing all these stocks kind of get a little bit of a pullback. Google also, you can see on the daily how we got multiple highs, multiple highs, multiple highs. We keep kind of like battling here and kind of failing at the top, right? But we'll see what happens here if it goes through the support, right? There's a nice support underneath it. If it can crack that and start making its way right back down, that's when we can start seeing this maybe come back towards like 115, right? Of course, it's going to take a little bit of some market kind of coming right back down, but we can keep an eye out for it because we have levels on both sides. We can either play to the upside here on the support, or we can play it back to the downside. Today, earlier, I was trying to play Google back to the upside, and I kind of did a little bit of a mistake execution. That can happen. We got out of the trade, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. So I kind of pretty much paid some commissions on that. But other than that, doesn't really matter. Google kind of hanging in there today. Tesla coming right back down and then trying to pop here towards the 200. Is it going to be able to hold this trend line, make that next move up, or will it break it right back down towards the 190? So this is a trend line we've been watching for a good while now. We created this on March 30th, updated it on the 22nd of May. Now you can see how it's kind of holding in there on Tesla. And we're talking, we were down here on the 22nd. So it's been a good ride there in Tesla. We'll see if this starts to turn around. All right, let's keep going. If you guys got names in the chat, we can take some stocks out there. Cocoa could be all-time closing high today. Cocoa? What is that one? Oh, the Vita Coco Company, man. I used to see this product all the time, and I'm not gonna lie, people go crazy for that coconut water. But I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of coconut water. But hey, seems like somebody is. Look at the weekly. That thing's taking off. The Celsius is getting another rip. Oh man, this one was such a nice little push. This one's pulling back, just holding in right now. I actually have been trying a little bit more of the Celsius holding energy drinks. They're not too bad. I like the sparkling ones. They're pretty good. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Coco is insane, says Easy Mike. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Twilio mentioned in the chat. Let's do that one. That one's a really nice move and continuing the trend, right? And when the trend's your friend, the trend's your friend. And one thing that I've been talking about often lately is kind of the 9 EMA and how when that seems to hold, it seems to really kind of show you that you're getting momentum and takeoff. You can see how this is really far from the 9 now. Eventually, I think Twilio will do a little bit of a pullback, but that doesn't mean that it has to happen now, right? It can continue pushing and continue pushing away. I mean, look how far away it was over here. It was a pretty good distance, right? I mean, it was about 7.96 away from where it was. Right now, we're about 8.7. So we're definitely expanding and doing an expansion move to the upside. The only question is when we get a pullback, how deep will that pullback be in Twilio? If I look at the hourlies, let's take a look at what could be the next levels. Let's go to the 4-level hour levels to see if something stands out to me. So right now, I think, you're just climbing the wall of worry. This could keep climbing and climbing. I think kind of the first kind of area that I'd look at is around 72, but who knows where this is going to turn around. It's been a good ride, though, there in Twilio, especially after getting a hit, down gapping, and then just quick recovery. One thing I always look for on those down gaps, do we get a huge volume, slow volume on the next couple of days, and then expansion as we break out of the range? This is a very important example of that, right? So you can see here, you get a nice downside action, right? But when you come out of the range, you get an increase of volume as the buyers step up and take the stock. You can see that right there. Nice action that picked up as the stock got out of the range and started picking up for the breakup. But then definitely this is also a story of tech coming back into favor, right? For a while there, no one even wanted to play Square. I was even seeing Square kind of juice up today. I didn't play this cup and handle, but I was kind of looking for it to see if it was going to do a little bit of a cup and handle. You can see how it kind of pulled back here towards 59.89. I was looking for more like kind of a pullback towards like 59.76, slightly below the VWAP. But as you guys can see, Square even making a little bit of a move higher. And this is a stock that's trying to maybe do a little bit of a reversal pattern, right? And so I'd keep this one on my radars. Nothing that I'm going to jump into right now. I'm just going to keep it on watch, especially if it can make a move back towards 62, 63. PayPal, similar, right? We're going to look to see what happens on this. And one thing I can see is a lot of volume. Can it start breaking out of this range and then start recovering? One thing to look for. All right, let's keep going. Great month for Twilio. Definitely has been a good one. Bad day for regionals. Let's go to the KRE. Does anybody care about regional banks anymore? Doesn't seem like anybody's caring about the regional banks. At least that's what the charts are showing me. And they are coming down. I mean, look at that move. I've talked about this. Seems like this line just keeps to continue to hold. So we make a move back up, reject that, right back down, right? And so we could see the KRE go lower. Are we ever going to see any more bank concerns, right? Will PacWest all of a sudden disappear, right? Those are the type of things that I would be looking for. And that could turn the market around because the market has kind of gotten completely away from kind of the bank concerns, right? We saw JPM also take a hit today. Goldman Sachs taking a hit right now, even and going lower. Citi taking a hit today. So we'll keep an eye out. Nothing that I think is a worrisome move right now, but something that we got to keep a watch to see if we get any more concerns in the regional banks. All right, let's keep going. What else is going on? Third person Crow is on point. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going. Shadow banking system in trouble. We'll find out, Preston. Watch TFC. TFC. Let's take a look. TSC choice. Let's see. This looks like it's setting up also for another kind of move right back down. This is one of those moves that I kind of like. So what I like about this is that look at the 15 right now. Ooh, this is juicy right now. A little part of me feels like tackling this right back to the downside. But I like stocks that are like this, where I can risk maybe on a stock like this 10 cents, right? I don't have to risk too much on this. I can risk right back slightly above here towards maybe like the 75. But where's the reward? The reward can be right back down here towards the low. And so you can see how the boxes kind of play out. This is the reward box. This is the risk box. This is what I'm looking for a lot of the times. Doesn't look too bad, TFC. I ain't going to take it because I would need to focus on it. But you can see it. Nice little levels. And another thing that I look for a lot of the times is when stocks come back like this, can they take out the opening price? Opening price is an important one I got from Joel Conan that I kind of stick to. And you can see how this stock comes back up, but it can't even get over the 30.71s. Opening price was 30.99. So we can't make it back to the 31s right now. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on out there. Watts TFC Bank was mentioned in the chat. I took a look at there. Looks like it wants to come right back down. Looks like nobody smoke anymore. Look at Tilray. Michael, no, that's not what it is, man. Is that one thing that a lot of people got wrong in the cannabis story is that they thought for a while that Canada would be like the big driver in the industry, right? That Canada, that these Canadian stocks would go to the moon. And they did get a big push for a long time. But the number one thing that I've noticed is that the ones that are in Canada, I want no part of. That's not the market that I want to be a part of. I'm looking for different kind of providers, right? And I think that in the long run, I really do see opportunity in cannabis. The big thing is going to be, when does it get federally deschedulized, right? That's going to be a big move. We need to get to that step first. And I think that a lot of times people like to be early, but when you're dealing with regulation, that's where you got to be careful, because early with regulation definitely puts some headwinds if for any reason regulation doesn't happen. And I think that for a long time, people thought that maybe we would be already legalized by now. And you guys can see the prices on Tilray. It ain't looking good, man. It's down to 167. Look at CGC, down to 82 cents. What else is going to survive here? What? Chronos Group, down to 176. Even stocks that I kind of like Akerna Corp. It's about 74 cents. I like this stock. They have a good technology stack. The question is, can their technology stack even get out there into enough, right? I mean, it's not a bad product, but it doesn't get the love that it deserves. And with that being said, got to stay on the sideline right now. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on and see if it can get the lift. All right, DNN fell below the channel. Uranium. Uranium's not an area that I'd be looking at, but hey, that's just because I see metals and minerals not really making the biggest move. Now, one thing I can see is that at least this has a nice monthly support around that $1. But it does look like it's kind of topping out. I mean, you know exactly where your out spot is at least, but we'll look to see if this can get back there towards the 150. All right, let's keep going. They need AI. Smoke more than drink Coca-Cola. Hey, we'll see about that. Coca-Cola will also kill you, man. That's for sure. Coke coming down right now. I mean, it seems like we got a little bit of a bounce back today because these stocks have already gotten beat down. You can see how quickly it came back towards support. Are we going to see a little bit of a bounce in these defensive names? I think this was kind of more of a rent for the day. I just don't know if it's going to continue going. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is going on. Path still climbing without Palantir. Yeah, Path is taking a big rip. Of course, this is a Kathy Wood name. She has like 9% of ARK in this. So it's become a big position, right? And Path, she keeps adding more shares. Nice move today through 17. So I'd look for pullbacks around 1750 to kind of hold 17, but not a bad move there in a software name here in Path. All right, a lot of things can kill you, but not as much as stress. 100%. Day trade will bring a lot of stress, man. You got to be able to handle it and be able to just take it easy. That's what it's about. How's Kathy treating me? It's not treating me too bad. We can take a look right quickly towards some growth names before we get towards our interview. We got about 2 minutes left. So let's take a look right here to see what was up today in Kathy and where we can look for stocks to continue. So Twilio and Path instantly come up. Roblox, look at all the bottoming action around the 39s. This looks like it really wants to go a little bit higher. Coinbase even looking interesting around the 60 here. Of course, I don't know what can happen with Coinbase with news, but I can tell you at least the chart's looking interesting. Unity also really nice move. I was watching this earlier around the 29s. Going to look to see if it was going to pull back. It did give us that nice little pullback off the 86 and then just push right towards the upside. So growth names, they don't look too bad. Remember, Kathy's in Square. These don't look too bad there, right? So ARKK is not looking too bad. You're even starting to see stocks like Roku making a little bit of an up move here. I'm going to keep watch to see if some of these growth names can actually push a little higher. We'll find out, right? I saw Beam doing well earlier, but not being able to hold on. All right, that's going to do it for me at least. It's 3:30 team, so definitely want to go ahead and get to our interview. We're going to start in just a second. Like always, team, one of the things that I think is very important is trying to go ahead and bring your skills to that next level, right? And testing your skills is so important as a trader because the truth is it's about repetitive process approach, not necessarily one trade. This is why I always talk about one thing. And it's one of the quotes that I really live by in my trading. I don't let one trade make me, and I don't let one trade break me. And the big reason why is that I learned very early on that, yeah, you can go for a home run. The truth is, a lot of the times when you go for home runs, what are you going to do? You're going to strike out swinging, right? And what I've learned in that process is that what I want to do is mainly just go for these kind of base hit type of trades where I'm just repeating the process and look to kind of what I talk about running into a home run. And what do I mean by that is that you just let the stock market work and let it give you that return, right? We never know how far our stock's going to go into the green. The only thing that we can do is kind of let the market do its thing and see where we end up. let's go ahead. Let's bring on my guest today. Of course, you guys smashed it up. We're going to go ahead and bring back Michael from Trade the Pool. How we doing today, Michael?
How's it going, Mitch? How you doing, everybody?
It's always good to have you on. Excited to talk a little bit more, of course, about Trade the Pool. And I do got to say that I've been having fun with the evaluation account, been trading all day long, just enjoying it. And today was kind of one of those rinse and repeats, right? I came after a lot of the trades in AI. And why? Because volatility is there, right? I mean, I'm going with the volatility where I can go ahead and make
100%.
So AI definitely made a big run up the other day, and I actually played it for the first trade on this account to the upside, and now I'm playing it to the downside, and that's what it's all about. A lot of the times, you got to be able to play both sides of the game. So today I went after AI, was able to make a pretty decent trade there. Not bad on the day. We got this, and I can show you guys. I really like this feature here on Trade the Pool where you can kind of see exactly your executions. And so I can kind of show you guys that right now so that we can take a little bit of a look here and see where kind of exactly I was trading at. So you guys can see. And I like also talking a little bit about what Michael was talking about last time. Last time that he was on, he talked a lot about kind of looking for these kind of pre-market support moves and then to move back to that level and then looking for that kind of quick move right back down. That's exactly kind of what I went after here on AI, right? I saw it kind of cut through this kind of support around the 41.13, 41.14 level, and then it cut through. So I was looking for a move right back with quick action, looking to get short off of that level. And it did cut through for just a second here. And this is why I always say those wicks could be tricks. It went to 41.23. And I said, hold on, I can give it 1 second here to see if I can close a 5-minute candle above that level. And then really quickly, boom, right back down here. And as you guys can see, it's important to take profits, right? All I did was just cash out along the way, taking the final profits even down there towards 38.65, where our low of the day was down to 38.10. So not a bad little trade there.
Great exit at the end, right at the support level.
Yeah, and that was the planned attack. And I think that that's the important way to go about it, right? And one of the things that this evaluation is really kind of doing here is testing me on what? Testing me on being able to go to bigger size, right? That's the truth, right? Is that if I did these day trades in my other account, let's just be honest, they ain't that big. And if I did trade like this every day, the truth is I probably wouldn't have to be here, right? And I think that this is also another thing to get that test, right? And I'm really, truly testing my skills to show the abilities, right? I think that every trader out there is just trying to find ways to see what their ability level's like, right? And for new traders, this could definitely be a way to test yourself to see if you're ready to really either build that account that you need or take it this way where you're trying to get access to capital. So let's talk a little bit about that, Michael. Of course, that's what you're a big part of. You're CEO of Trade the Pool. I know you do a little trading yourself, but let's talk a little bit about Trade the Pool, right? It has definitely some packages that there's different offerings. How do they necessarily work here?
So let me, I'll share my screen and it will be much easier for the guys.
Give me 1 second, Michael. It looks like your AirPods are having a little connection problem. Let me see if I can just fix that by just putting you in the background, bringing you back on. But how we doing? Let me hear your audio a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's disconnecting a little bit there. No worries. I'll put you in the background and we'll bring you right back on. Let me know when you're ready. All right, Michael's fixing that. Give him a second there. I just want to make sure that we have decent audio here, but who knows? Maybe I take a trade while Michael's in the background. Let's find out. All right, let's put up my screen right quick here. And Michael, you can give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. I'll take a look at some trading action. We're seeing AI come right back down here. And one thing that I noticed when the Qs started coming right back down, what do we just see kind of sell off right back towards the end? I think we might see that. And so that's where it gets a little bit harder right now to see kind of stocks that are going up, right? Like Intel, another story right now. I would not be battling this right now. And you can see how this wants to go higher. I'm just kind of mad. I'm like, man, I really wanted that 31. It went right to it for a second. and then bounce right off of it. So if there's any level that I should have maybe taken the Intel, it's near that 31. Now it's going to be a little bit of hindsight 2020. That's just how it goes. Trade the pool. Good idea. I like it. Hey, that's what it's about. I mean, we're all in the pool, right? That's what it is there. So we'll find out to see if Intel can go higher. And if we start to see a little bit of decline here in certain stocks. The stock that really got me yesterday that's coming up now is Mara. So this is one that I'll keep on watch. Big thing for me is the daily levels. Look how clean this looks on the daily. So if we could really get this to kind of come up here through this kind of trend line, this would be looking really nice. So last time I kind of missed it. I kind of didn't play it well. So let's see if I'm able to bounce back tomorrow and be able to play this. I definitely think I'm going to have this as one of my top watch. And I think I also like how what you have here is another level here that's clearly easy to kind of look at is the horizontal line here from right here. And so you can see how this kind of just went right towards that support, now starting to hold around the $9 area. Now we're going to look to see if it can make its way towards 10. After that 10 move, it could really keep going, especially on the daily, right back towards 12 is a move that I'll be looking at. All right, we'll see what happens there on Mara. Do you still think we're in a bull market? Yeah, I do. I still think we're in a bull market. And I think that one thing that we need to keep in mind, right, is that, of course, 420 is that mark for bull market. So we need to kind of really start basing up there to really call it the official bull market. But this is all we need, right, is to kind of keep an eye out on the SPY now and to see what happens here, especially at these levels, right? We're kind of rejecting off the 420 right now, but we need to see if we can continue to base up there. And what's going to get us up there is, of course, probably a pause. I don't think the default is really going to be something that really kind of drives us higher. I think we already kind of priced it in, but who knows, right? When that actually goes through, it could go through tonight at 8 p.m. So we could be driving higher overnight even, and then right back above 420s. This could be an opportunity to get tech stocks on the cheap, right? The only thing is nobody will know until after that vote goes through at 8. And of course, the futures kind of open up in the morning. Maybe that will get it towards where you can see where the stocks are going. But the truth is, it's going to come out later at 8 p.m. And we don't know if this is an opportunity on some pullback. All right, let's keep going, team. I'll get Michael on in just a second. He's fixing up his audio in the background. We'll keep going with the interview in just a second, but I can also start taking a look at some of my statistics. That's what I wanted to kind of go through. So let's do a little bit of that. I'll go back here towards the AI chart, and I'll show you guys a little bit more of my statistics, right? And so you guys can see here, this is from the 17th. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here so that you guys can kind of see that. Let me know if you guys can see it now. Let me put my face here in the bottom. All right. So as you guys can see, for the account, the average kind of win here has gotten towards about 50, with the average loss at about 31. It's actually a little bit higher than this, but the big thing is that it kind of separates it on each sale versus like kind of the whole position, right? And so today it was a pretty nice win. We got a kind of this 102 kind of buy that was kind of our largest win. But as you can see, really the whole AI trade was our largest win. I was able to piece out here at 60, 100, 94, 50. And that's what I really want to do a lot of the times is just piece out and take the wins, right? Because that's going to give it the best chance for success. One thing that I can also see is that I'm about 62% accurate right now. And so that tells me that I can still kind of go after kind of 3-to-1, 4-to-1 outlooks, maybe even 2.5, but not lower than that 2. I want to keep that in my favor so that I can keep the profit to loss ratio pushing forward. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is that I can do some shorting action with this. So today was kind of the first time that I really started shorting, and you guys can see nice little wins there. It says 7, but the truth is it's not really 7. It's just one nice trade here. I'm going to continue to step up in size, right? This was about 300 shares on AI, and I can continue pushing it to the next level. The key is always keeping what? Profit and loss ratio in mind. All right. What's this vote taking place? So at 8 p.m., Raz, if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can look up on Benzinga or you can look up on the medias what's going on with the debt ceiling. It'll be voted on at 8 p.m. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull down here. It looks like Michael's having a little bit of issues with his audio, so we'll see if we're able to get him on. If not, no worries, team. I can bring him on tomorrow, or we can just bring him on next week. We'll find out what goes on there. I'm going to keep going with some other stocks, and then we'll be back with Michael if for any reason he's able to come back with audio there. So let's go back to the stock market, see what's going on right now. I'm going on Qs. You guys can see that right now we're kind of bouncing and just kind of in the middle. We don't know where we're going right now. I feel like that's the truth. And I can't blame it, because the truth is that we're starting to see some kind of buy the dippers step up here. The only question is, will it start making its way back towards the 350? I think that's going to be a very important level to watch tomorrow. If we're back up above the 350s, I think the Qs can make another move. If not, we could go lower. CRM tonight, right? A lot of earnings reports kind of come in tonight. We'll see if CRM has just gone way too far and this starts taking a hit. If CRM gets hit, we could be right back down, right? We also are going to get CrowdStrike to report tonight, and that could kind of take a hit. It's been holding on for a long time and has made a nice move since May 1st. I mean, this is about a 36% move higher, so we could see CrowdStrike pull back. AI reports earnings tonight, right? That's why I was kind of also going after it, because I felt like there could be a lot of profit taking in AI, and there has been today. Now, I'm glad I avoided this kind of squeeze right here towards 40.50, but definitely we can see this go lower with their earnings tonight. One thing is for certain, I won't be short overnight this name, because it's an easy way to get wrecked. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going. If the U.S. defaults, should I buy Lockheed Martin? Well, I don't think that that's going to happen, but even then, I can't tell you to buy Lockheed, but Lockheed right now isn't moving with kind of the stocks and kind of the situation. I mean, I've seen kind of the situation kind of increase in Russia and Ukraine. Now I'm seeing drone strikes, things that are going on from the Ukraine going to the Russia side, things like that. And we're still not getting that action in these defensive names. So it seems to me like defensives are out of favor right now. So I'd leave them on the sideline. Sydney, you're going after more TDW. Let's take a look. Tidewater. It's an oil, gas, and equipment service. Now, one thing that I would say is that this had a little bit of a hard turnaround there as they tried to make its move to 50. And this is the space that I'm just a little bit concerned on oil and gas. Are they going to continue strong? Maybe it sees a turnaround, but it is pulling back right now. I don't know where I see this one. I don't know too much about Tidewater specifically. I could take a look at different ones in this space, right? This is equipment and service, but look how this looks. It doesn't look great, at least the industry overall. Let's take a look at some of the leaders in there. Of course, you're talking Halliburton, FTI, Val. They just don't look that strong right now. And I think that the energy trade is falling off also because tech is so strong. Because names are just getting sold that were winners. They're taking their profits and they're probably shifting it over to some tech names. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on there. What else reports tonight? Let me take a look at my list. Of course, you guys can take a look at this list. It's always on our Twitter. Take a look at their earnings tonight. We'll see CrowdStrike. We'll see Chewy and Okta. What do you guys think about Chewy and Okta? Which one do you like more, Chewy or Okta? Throw it up in the chat. You guys bullish any of these names? Let me find out. All right, let's keep going here. Let's take a look at some of these names. What are you guys looking at? Let's take a look. All right, so Okta. Okta is one that I've liked. I talked about this one not yesterday, not this morning, yesterday on PreMarket Prep. So this one kept getting the lift. Nice little move higher. So I've been watching it. Yesterday kind of pulled back, then climbed all day. Now it's trying to climb a little bit higher. I'm going to see what happens in the earnings report, right? If the earnings report can drive this back through the 100, this won't be looking too bad at all. You also got Chewy. Chewy is one that loves to kind of give these big kind of reversals and then right back to the upside. So I'm really not going to bet against Chewy. but I also don't want to play it to the upside because it just seems to me like they don't win, and they're coming back down through kind of IPO prices, and they're not being able to hold even that price. So this could be lower. This could be at like 25, 20s, and maybe even lower than that in the next couple of months. Retail, not where it's at. And I don't know why Chewy can't win here. It's pretty easy to win in their space, right? I mean, Petco isn't doing that good. Maybe they're all aren't doing that good, right? Look at that moving woof. Doesn't seem like the right area to be in. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there? Great earnings, 5.923 TDW. We'll take a look at that. I mean, Sydney, I have to look into the earnings, but it's been a good one. It kind of pushed higher. I think, one thing to keep in mind is that I like good earnings, and I think earnings really kind of give stocks a drive, but I always keep industries over earnings because even the stock can have killer numbers, killer guidance, and still go down. It's hard. It's hard because the truth is we're told that kind of trust the fundamentals. The truth is that it changes. Sometimes fundamentals is the most important thing. Sometimes technical is the most important thing. Sometimes story is the most important thing. With NVIDIA, this has been a story move, not necessarily a technical move, not necessarily a fundamental move. This is kind of more of your story move. And when story drives stocks, well, you can kind of kick fundamentals. You can kick technicals even to the side. All right, just give me 1 second here. Looks like Michael's ready to come back here. Let's bring him on. Let's see how he's doing. How we doing, Michael?
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, not doing too bad there. Let me try to adjust your mic a little louder here, and I think I should get you good. How we doing?
Yeah, I think everything should be okay. Just I don't know what happened.
No worries. It could be on my side with StreamYard. Sometimes StreamYard gives me a little bit of issues, so it's not necessarily always on your side, Michael. But we can talk a little bit about what I was going through. You saw me getting through some of the statistics here and kind of checking out kind of some of the action. Of course, I always try to keep up with the statistics because I feel like that's really how traders are going to get towards success, is kind of staying with a nice little processed approach. Because the truth is, we never know we're going to win or lose, right? If we knew that, I mean, I think me and Michael would be doing this all day long, every day, right? But the truth is that we just got to stay with a little bit of a process approach and try to find some process that could work for us. I've started it, and did I have a rough day yesterday? Yeah, I lost twice on Mara and took a little bit of a hit. Was able to cut a little bit of the loss. And you guys saw that live yesterday as I traded the SQQQs towards the close. Took a little bit of the hair off, right? Made half of that back, a little quarter of that back. And then now today have one good green day and boom, we're in a good mode here. We're actually starting to push forward. And the real reason I'm trying to do this is because I'm trying to pass the evaluation, right? And of course, that's what Trade the Pool really comes in. It's a package kind of approach. Tell me a little bit more about these packages, Michael.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen. I'll talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So if you guys can see my screen, we are the first prop that actually doing it online, and you can trade. We have 12,000 symbols to trade on, so penny stocks are more than welcome. Short selling penny stocks, hard to borrow, all of those things, and obviously big stacks companies. And the thing about what we did is basically, if you can see the title here, right? As soon as you sign Trade a Pool, you can actually get a free account either with Trade Ideas or Transpired, Bookmap, Trader Sync. We have all of the big players in the game, and the best softwares that you can find and edge with them. And all you got to do is choose your own tier, right? You can go with the mini VPN and start with $20,000 of buying power with as little as $97, or you can go all the way up to $1,200 and get all the way up to $260,000 to trade on. Obviously, when you go big, your profit split is bigger. You get to keep 80% of the profit. That's 45 days to pass the evaluation, and once you do that, you become a funded trader. So that's basically the idea. Now, as Mitch just showed you, it's super friendly, right? The platform is super friendly and very intuitive. Not like I've been trading, for example, interactive brokers for many, many years, and it's so complex especially for new beginners. So in this case, we made it super possible and intuitive. So if I'm sharing some of the stuff that I did, Mitch, we are hosting a contest this last 2 weeks, right? And this is the last week that we're doing this contest. So for now, I'm at the 7th place in the leaderboard. So, but still doing quite well. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about the 2 trades that I made today because it's super important and you can get a lot from it and understand, even if you're not day trading, if you're just swing trading, you can actually take a lot from those trades that we will cover in a second.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to step in here a little bit. The audio still hasn't gotten too great. So instead of going through this and kind of just not getting the clear audio that I need, and also the audience wants to hear from you, Michael. So what we'll do is we're going to take this to another day. I don't know if you have opportunity maybe tomorrow or Friday. If not, I'll definitely work with you, Michael. We'll get you back on and we'll take another look into the packages and kind of an understanding of what's going on here. But it's great to talk to you, Michael. And definitely, I want to hear about your trades. I'm a little jealous I didn't get to hear about them. But we'll definitely hear from you next time. And definitely you guys can keep up with Michael. I'll throw up, of course, Trade the Pools Twitter. I've been kind of giving them some of the tweets, right, of my trades. So if you guys want to keep up with that action, definitely give me a follow. We'll have you on next time, Michael. Appreciate you.
Good.
Take care. All right, let's get back to the action. I do see the Qs kind of battling here and kind of getting, looks like they're pulling back already. It seems like we're having a strong resistance that seems to be holding up right now. You guys can see right around this 349. It gets right back there and then pow, right back down. So it just seems like it doesn't want to take the next level, right? So stocks S, you can see how this kind of has that cup and handle pattern, right? It's trying to go higher, trying to push through the 1220s, go to the 1225s here. SQQQs was one way that I was looking at playing today, and that was around the 2070s. And I could have played this, but it really didn't go anywhere today. It seems a lot like we're just kind of hanging around. Sydney thinks that we rotate back to energy, and I can't blame you for that outlook either, right? I mean, if we can catch this, then it can come back, right? I'm just saying, at least from what I see now, I see rotation away from energy. But we all know OPEC makes one mention and we could rotate right back into energy. And I think that's what it's always about, right? It's staying with kind of the current environment. Right now, one of the things that I would watch for if I was watching the oil game is just WTI, right? I've talked about this, that I was looking to see what would happen to crude oil. Would we get back into the 60s? We get back into the 60s. And then what happens today? Well, just take a look at that, team. Where are we trading at it now? So you guys can see we're at 67.94s around there. And we got up back towards 69 today and rejected 69. So if we get back to 70, I think these stocks can come right back up. If we go lower, though, and get back through kind of into the 50s, that's where I think we finally break. So on March 20th, we went down towards like 66.74. Right now, we're going down there towards around 66. Let's take a look here. Today, we've got towards a low of 67.21. So let's see if we go through 67, making our way towards like 65 and go lower. If that happens, I could see a little bit of a break, and then we'll see if it's able to catch a bounce. Really, that's how it always is. CL and serious backwardation. That's another thing to kind of keep a look at. I know, Raz, you're a little bit newer, and so you'll probably be looking, what's backwardation? Look it up. It's actually an interesting conversation to kind of catch. Intel pulling back here. I think it is on the pullback. Now it's coming back here to 31.45. Should I come after it here? That's where it's difficult because CRM is going to make a big, big deal tonight on what happens, right? So right now, I'm going to stay on the sideline. Do I like Intel? Yes, I want to get this on pullbacks. But can it come back below 31s? I think I might get that opportunity tomorrow. So I'm going to stay on the sidelines for right now. No, I know that one. You know that one, Raz? Hey, there you go, man. Good to see it. It's always about learning and getting 2% better, like my man Ryan Faluna would say. All right, let's take a look at what else is going on here. ARKK not doing too bad here. That starts to make a nice little uplift. This one is a swing trade that we've been doing. And of course, this is what this show's all about, swing trades, right? I got this at 39.06. Look at the daily levels, right? I talked about it. How can I risk off the 38s? I did risk off the 38s. We had a little bit of a battle now. Now we're going back towards 41. If I can get through 41, I could keep holding this ARKK. And for a while, I'm going to keep riding this. And what I will do is look to play different names in here for the day trading momentum. So tomorrow, I can maybe look to see if Shop can get a little bit of a lift. I can look at Unity. They had a nice push today. Looking for some pullback in names like this. All names that I'll keep on watch. AIs and energy too. We'll see what happens. What will happen to AI after the bell? It's 3:57. Any other stock you guys want me to cover? The bell is coming, team. Smash it up out there, team. Look at Tesla. Michael, what happened there? Tesla ripped in the last 20 minutes. Something happened in Tesla. Who knows what's going on there? Benzinga Pro might. I'm looking for it, team. What is going on in Tesla there? It definitely had to be some type of news that came out. Tesla plans to showcase updated Model 3 with Musk in Shanghai, reported by BNN Bloomberg. That came in at 241, and then that started getting a little bit of a lift. Haven't seen much from there, but definitely seeing a big push there. Don't know if that's going to happen today, but big push there in Tesla towards the close. The only question is, do I take an opportunity on that? Too big of a rip for me, but definitely something had to have happened there. And look at the daily. It held the trend pullback. Let's see if it gets to the next level. Next level from here is 207 and 210 and 211s. Let's see if we can start making a big push there on Tesla. Looks like Armageddon's coming. Oh, well, no worries. We'll be ready for it. All right, guys, keep battling. SoFi being mentioned in the chat. That's a good move today. Definitely a big push up. This is one that I'd keep an eye out for. What happens in the Supreme Court? Because this month, there's supposed to be an answer on Biden's loan forgiveness plan, right? What will the Supreme Court determine? Is it legal? Is it not, right? We'll find out. And I think that's going to make an even bigger effect on SoFi. Right now, it's all about the not debt forgiveness here, not student forgiveness, but forbearance here, which is what? Just cutting off that they need to pay on some of these loans, right? So SoFi has been suing, trying to get these, of course, trying to get payment, right? Well, there you guys see it getting a little bit of a lift because part of the new deal would be that the forbearance would be gone. So we'll find out if that starts coming into play and we see SoFi continue higher. All right, we'll see what else is going on. There's an Armageddon ETF. There you go, Crow. Maybe you guys need a little bit of action of that. Palantir has been a monster coming back towards the green. Can't believe I've been playing this one and haven't just held it because it has made a huge ride up there. We'll see if it takes out the 15. Qs overall here towards the close, coming right back down and battling off to that 349. We'll find out what happens in CRM tonight. Look at that. That's already ripping. Somebody knows something, man. Or some debt news came through because I don't know anything. Well, there it goes. That's 4 o'clock. That's it. Put the pencils down. Pencils down. You guys know it. It's been a great one today. Definitely battled. Took a really nice win in AI. Taking some swings higher. ARKK, NCLH continuing to work higher. NCLH now 9% higher and just continuing to work the position. Sometimes they go well. CRM trying to push here in the after hours. It seems like somebody knew something, but you know how that one goes. Hit the like. I'll see you next time and definitely smash it up. Big push there in CRM. Let's see if some of these other ones can get the lift.